100,000 on a beat.
All right, welcome into the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Walford. Thank you for joining us. Coach, a nice 35-0 win over Lucy Beckham Friday night to get you to 7-2, 3-1 in region play.
Yeah, I think probably the most complete game we've played as a team all season long. The offense had it going. We were able to kind of do whatever we wanted. Ran the ball really well. When we needed to throw it, we threw it. Defensively played another great game. Special teams, we were pretty solid. Little hiccups there on our kickoff unit, yeah. But when you're kicking off a lot, that's always a good thing. And like I said, I think probably the most complete game we've played all year.
So let's go ahead and go to the first half highlights. The Stags Youth Night at Moody Field Friday night. So hosting Lucy Beckham, and the Stags start out with the ball.
Come out here, Series 1. See, we're in a 2nd and 5. Anytime we're in 2nd and 5, we feel like we won on first down. Come out here, run a little zone cut. Another good run on 2nd down.
Yeah. LJ Washington with the carry.
I think that LJ did a really good job of hitting the holes pretty hard. O-line does a good job of surging off the ball. You see right there the double team turns a defensive end into a free safety. Running him out of there. You see right there Zion Brett and Jordan Livingston do a great job on the double team. LJ Washington, man, he's done a really great job all year of seeing where this ball is supposed to hit. You see this massive hole right here. Great job out of the double team here. Good job out of Zion Richardson. We're up, got a hat for a hat everywhere, right? Big old hole for LJ to run through.
Yep, 10 yards a clip, it'd be good.
Come out here, 3rd and 10. Run a little curl arrow with a middle to take care of the safety. Keller does a really good job here of throwing this ball on time right out of our break. We're reading this overhang defender right here. His job, our read, if that guy goes to the flat, we're going to throw the curl right behind him. If he sits in this curl window, we'll throw the flat and try to get the first down. I think this is a really good call into this coverage. You see they're rolling into cover 3. And a good job out of us recognizing it and throwing it on timing, to extend the drive and get a first down.
Yep, needed 10, got 11.
Got a little split zone with a receiver coming across on a little RPO. The safety spins down here. That kind of takes care of their alley defender once he takes that. Then we come back, we kick their end out. You see the bend back. Again, LJ just understanding the play and knowing where this is all supposed to go. The O-line does a really good job, like I said, of getting a hat on a hat. You see right here from the end zone shot, a really good illustration of what we're trying to do. We're flashing back across. We're getting down blocks. We get up on the linebacker. We're coming and kicking out this guy right here. LJ understands that once this end kind of crosses face there, I need to get right behind my tackle, and there's the hole going to be. Boom, right up in there. Really good, successful run.
So got you in the red zone now.
Get in here, second and medium, a little bit longer than what you would like. Same sort of play, only without the tight end coming across the formation. I think that Jesse Brown, does a really good job here of seeing this pressure and this slant out of the D-line. When they slant hard this way, right, he does a good job of not bending the zone back and actually keeping it front side here. He knows at this point, once he cuts off that tackle, he's going to be one-on-one with that linebacker, gets gets back up north real quick again, right, and is able to get positive yards.
Thought JT ran well the other night as well. Of course, 400 yards, everybody did.
Right here we got a little third and short, third and about 3. This is probably, one of the few times this year where 33 has been stopped short.
Yeah.
We think, they've got a loaded box in here. You can't really see it here, but there's an extra safety that's going to show up into this run here late. Really, we would like to see this ball. We're flashing across here, kicking out. We'd like to see this ball bounce, and then it's you one-on-one with this safety. You can see his shadow right here. And more times than not, we've made this play and he's made this cut and run this guy over. Mm-hmm. I understand, kind of what he sees here. We just got to do a better job of coming down here, working down with our tight end and tackle, cutting this guy off. And then this is a really good cut and just kind of plunge up there. I think we would get it. But you see the backer beat our down blocks right there. This ball should go out the front door, and it's you one-on-one with that safety. Hey, good job out of Lucy Beckham standing us up here tight to open the game.
So it sets up a 4th and short. We're going to show it here.
Yep, so just so people understand, what's going on here. I really wanted to come away with points on this drive.
Yeah.
We come out here, we look them, they don't jump. We give them another dummy call, try to get them to look again as the clock runs down. They don't go, we call a timeout. We actually false start, and we got to do a better job of that. Doesn't really hurt us because we're so tight. We knew we were going to kick at this point anyways.
Yeah. So false start or timeout, we end up setting up for what's a chip shot for Ryland.
Yeah, really easy field goal. Like to see a little better snap here. Keller does a really good job of getting this ball down and getting it back on the block. Good kick out of Ryland. Stags get on the board first. In a game where, I was anticipating it to be, lower scoring and a tight game, kind of back and forth, I thought it was very important for us to get points up on that board.
And then they have a huge kickoff return. And I think this is not good.
Yeah.
Them starting basically at our 50-yard or at the 50-yard line.
That's right. And against a team that just kind of wants to plunge ahead and grind it out. You see here, this is second down. It's like second down and about 6. When you're playing a triple team and they get 4 yards, that's death.
That's right.
So we got to keep these guys. All triple teams, you got to keep them under 3 yards a carry. If they're getting 3 yards a carry, you go 2nd and 7, 3rd and 4, 4th and 1, first down if they can just get 3 yards a clip. So I was real concerned after first down. We come out here on second down. There's the defense being the defense, tackle them for a loss. And now in 3rd and 7, they're the ones behind the gun.
That's not what they want. Yep.
Great job here out of Jameer Hayward defeating the block. I'd like to see him show up a little bit sooner. You see 54 kind of wrapping around here. He kind of gets hung up on that block. But, just the same, once he recognizes it and sees the ball, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Yep, big play there.
Got him here in the 3rd and 7. They come out, hand the dive. If they want to get 3 yards there in 3rd and 7, we're more than comfortable with that.
I really thought with that play call there, they were setting it up for a short 4th down. They're at midfield, thinking they're just going to go ahead and try to salt that drive away, but instead they punt it.
Ended up punting. Pretty surprised. They never went for it once on a 4th and short.
No.
We come out here. This is second down. You see, again, we're in 2nd and
4,
medium to short yardage. Had a really good first down run. We come out here. I think this is one of the weakest holding calls I've ever seen in my life. We'll see this here on the butt shot. I really wanted to show this to the referees. This, and they're hitting our quarterback pretty late. We actually had it on here on the first curl that we threw on the third and medium. I probably should have shown that here, but we missed it. But right here, you'll see they call a hold on 54 right here. This 3-tech, they slanted these D linemen the entire night. Whether you're getting 3-man slants or 2-man slants, you'll see both of these guys slant here. I think that we do a really good job of zigzagging and coming back on this guy. If you call that holding, I think you could call holding every single play, you know. And obviously once you get down here, now it's going to be 2nd and 14, you know, hard to overcome.
Yeah.
Get here into a 3rd and long. Nobody really has a good concept for 3rd and 15 plus. You know, we come out here and just try to get what they give us and get a few yards, and, you know, hey, they got us. So end of that drive, we'll be punting.
Yep. So punt, they're right back at midfield.
Yep, midfield again, 2nd and medium. Right, not where you want to be. We gave up too many yards, but you know, this is where we did a good job on defense right here.
Yep.
Here the ball comes out. Cam McHugh's right there to pounce on it.
He always is. Seems like.
And who do you know getting the ball out of there? 33, Jameer Hayward.
Yeah. Yep, big turnover right there at that point in the game. You look back now, it may not seem like it was, but it certainly was at the time.
There we go, come down here. We try to take a shot on a 1st and 10. There's our quarterback getting blasted after the throw. You know, you could say that that's bang bang, but you know what? We've hit people bang bang and have had that same call against us. So,
yeah,
you know, I'm kind of at a loss. The one before that, I wish we would have shown it. It was pretty egregious. Come out here, switch sides of the field. All right, another 3rd and long. Take the throw out here. We're running a little post wheel right after the motion. Mm-hmm. I think they do a really good job of covering this. We've got a Dover coming across and the back and the flat. Keller likes the one-on-one matchup there. I'd really probably like to see him try to work this Dover. I think this goes a little bit too deep. Our post has to do a little bit better job of clearing that out and getting that out of here. Yeah. I think they're probably too close. That's why this looks convoluted, right? Or hit this check down right here. Again, I think that they did a really good job of being prepared. You see this guy over the top. He's kind of playing this wheel. You know, he's kind of ready for it. You know, I'd like to see us work this or kind of check it down here and see what we can get. Yeah. And maybe make this a 4th and short, if anything. You know, we know that these backs are hard to cover. They don't want to cover in the flat. Check it down and make those guys tackle in space. Yeah. But, you know, right there up the seam, really close to being a catch.
It's one of only 2 incompletions on the night.
Yep.
Quarterbacks are combined 13 of 15.
You see, we put it in a really good spot, hits them in the hands. It would have been a circus acrobatic catch, but one that we think Elijah can make, you know, and when you have trust in your receivers, you put it out there and they've got to make a play.
Yep. So we end up punting here. Ben Sala, who's had a great year for you, punting the ball.
Yep, we come down, we punt. You know, punting when you're inside your 40-yard line is, you know, never a good feeling, but when you can pin them deep and you got a good defense, you feel good about it.
Don't think their coaches were real happy with a fair catch at the 6.
Yeah, not the best. And then, you know what? When you do that, they come out here, they run toss. Fantastic play out of Cam McHugh.
Yep.
You know, and we're able to capitalize on a safety. Yep. So makes your decision to punt feel a whole lot better when you come out like that.
That's right. And I really felt like at this point, okay, now we've kind of we've kind of flexed a little bit, and I don't think they were prepared for it. Even though it's only 5-0, I really felt like we were getting ready to take off at that point.
Come down here. We'll watch this right here at the top of the screen. I think Cam does a really good job of defeating this. If these guys were wearing gold and they were in white, I'm pretty sure that a holding would be called right there. But, really good job out of him defeating that block and making the play anyways, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're the only team in the Low Country that holds ever. So whatever we think this is right here, if we can think that's a hold, we're probably wrong about it. I don't think it is.
Okay. All right, so here we are with the ball after the safety, and they kick off to us.
Kickoff, here we go. You see Bryson McGee right here with a really good cut.
Yeah. Hated for him the one long touchdown got called back. I felt like this was kind of his first big game of the season for him.
Yeah, obviously it's you see the talent that he has, got great vision. Right here, these linebackers kind of flow over the top, and you see him see this and recognize this cut out the back door right here.
Yeah.
Right? Great job out of him, really good vision. The more we can get him going, the better.
Yep.
Get here into a little second and medium, we call quarterback ISO. Really good job here out of Henry, kind of plugging it up there, and extend this drive, getting the first down. I'd like to see here, we need to win right in here and keep this end out here. I'd like to see our tackle kind of seal this edge right here. If we can seal this, right, they've got this guy coming out for the edge. They would have two bodies in one gap, which obviously is not good for a defense. We've got a little chip up here to this linebacker with the back leading up in here. You could see what kind of play we would have as long as we seal this. We just got to do a better job. You see we get beat across the face right there, right? But good job out of Henry, just kind of plugging this thing up there and getting what he can get.
So first down and LJ back to work.
Yeah. Again, LJ did a great job all night, hitting these balls downhill with a head of steam. Right here, everybody's covered up. Right, you see what kind of hole he's got to work with. This guy's trying to come back in the picture, right? But when you're hitting it downhill fast, now these are arm tackles, right? And good backs run through arm tackles.
That's right.
Now here, Jesse Brown, really good cut out of him.
Yeah, JT ran hard the other night, as did LJ, as did Bryson McGee.
I think all the backs had great nights. I'd like to see our steps be a little bit better as an offensive line. Really good play out of Carson Bowles after initially taking the wrong steps, realizing what he's got, and you see him show up late right there, boom, seals that linebacker and creates a nice hole there for Jesse.
Yeah, he's done a good job stepping up, playing center for you.
Again, another good hard run here for a touchdown for JT.
That's going to give us a score of 11-0 here.
See the O-line surge off the ball. All right, really good job. Come out here. We liked our numbers. We liked our numbers here to the top of the screen. If we could just not snap the ball to the 25-yard line on our extra points, that would be good. But we end up coming back. We still like the picture, and we're able to make this point up.
Yeah.
We're able to make this point up in our next touchdown.
Yeah. He'd have had his pick of receivers, I think.
Yeah, you see here, they don't have enough guys over here to cover 1, 2, 3, 4 eligible receivers. In the next drive, they end up overcompensating and then leave themselves short to this side of the field, and we're able to run it in for a 2-point conversion.
So 11-0 Stags here, second quarter action against Lucy Beckham, and Bengals back with the ball.
come out here, they drop back to pass. Initially have pretty good pass pro. Usually triple teams don't have the best pass protection, but you know what? Anytime you're trying to block 33, that's a tall task to sit there and hold that block for a long time.
If he doesn't make that play, it looks like he's got a good alley to run in right there.
For sure. And I think he's just starting to pull it down and to take off.
Yep.
And we'll see here in a little bit what kind of talented runner their quarterback number 3 is for them.
Yep. Here's a 3rd and short, right where they want to be.
Yep, really good sign out of here and what you want to see out of the defense. Any time they're coming on 3rd and short and we're teeing off on 45 and letting a guy know who is a really hard runner and has done a great job all season long, hey, we're here and we hit too.
That's right. Yeah, first 1,000-yard rusher in the history of the school there. So they have to punt, and here's Cam.
Come up here, a punt to us. Really good job. One thing I want to highlight here on this return, a big point of emphasis is not to come back too hard on people. You see Kevin Rivers do a good job, put his hands up, just kind of make a shield, right? Chamberlain Thompson right here, he sees this guy coming, doesn't make forcible contact, right? We're tired of getting touchdowns taken off the board. It's great to see this out of our guys. And then at the end of this, they horse collar tackle us and get another 15 yards to set us up for a really good scoring opportunity.
Yep. Cam's done really well in the return game all year. LJ back at it.
Yep. After a successful first down play, come down here, run a little power, and rip off a good 15, 16-yard run here. See right here, I mean, look at the hole right here. I mean, this is a great job out of the O-line, good vision out of the back. Just really good offensive execution all around.
This is a touchdown here for Henry.
Come down here in a 2nd and short. We've been doing this trips cluster to the boundary and motioning guys and bringing guys back across and creating sets back over here to the field. Well, to counteract that, we've kind of caught teams. You see this motion here out of them, getting them moving. You see this linebacker kind of is anticipating that too. And then we come back here with a little outside zone back to the boundary, right? Good numbers, one-on-one with the safety. Henry does a great job putting his hat down and running a guy over and taking him for a ride. You see there, that's just
JT out.
Really good execution.
Yep. So here we are at another 2-point try, 17-0 right now.
You can see now they've kicked all these guys over to this side. They kind of recognized, we weren't so good there, even though, they snapped it over our heads, right? We're short. Well, now they end up leaving themselves short on this side of the field. Cam McHugh does a really good job of making a guy miss. That's the unblocked guy. You see him kind of show up here off the edge, make that guy miss, and then sticks it up in there for a touchdown.
Can you explain why Cam is so far back off the line of scrimmage when he receives these snaps?
Yep, he really should be 5 yards. In his defense, we don't have this line right here on our practice field.
Okay. So this isn't by plan then? It just
No. So
okay.
We have every 5 yards on our practice field, but we don't have this first 5 yards. There's a big, beautiful press box on the baseball team that runs across that line. So we don't have that. This is something that's getting addressed. He should be up here. And I think that's just something that.
Well, my apologies to Cam. I wasn't trying to. I thought it was by design. So
no, not by design. He should be 5 yards behind that ball.
Okay.
But that's something that's getting fixed.
Regardless of that, Cam's able to run it in and give us the 2 points and make it a 19-0 ball game here in the second quarter.
Coming out here, kick off to them.
I actually thought this was their bright spot of the night over and over.
They had really good returns all night. This is something, that I left this in here to kind of show, them moving the ball. Whereas we did good on defense. They started and had the ball at midfield multiple times just on kickoff returns alone. And this is something, you see all the hats that we have there. We just got to do a better job of getting these guys on the ground.
Yeah.
We got to stay in our lanes better. We're going to play teams with dynamic returners. And if this is, we can't let this become a trend.
Yeah. Because a 4.3 speed breaks through there.
They run a little counter. I don't want to say triple. It's probably more like speed option with some lead blockers out here. You see what kind of athlete the quarterback is once he gets going. From the end zone shot, you can see this a little bit better. Where we've got to do a better job, our alley runner right here as a safety, we want to make this ball go to the sideline, right? So our pursuit angle really needs to come here to his inside hip to encourage this ball to go to the sideline. We have a pitch player out here that you can't see off screen, and you see we get out here, we're attacking the wrong hip. The quarterback sticks his foot in the ground, increases the defense. Yeah. Very important against triple teams to make them go east and west. You don't want the ball going downhill, right? Definitely don't want that dive to get handed. They'll take that all day if they can, right? Now, once the quarterback has it, right, you want him to go east and west. When they pitch the ball, right, you want that to go east and west, right? These linebackers in here are trying to defeat these arrow blocks up here. So if you go fast and you get beat up in here, you see what kind of space that quarterback has to make a play. So we got to do a better job of tracking the inside hip.
Yeah. Which I'll say on that no one gave up the pursuit. We didn't see the end of the play there, but it was one of your linemen that ended up getting downfield and making the tackle. Didn't give up on the play.
Yeah, great effort. And saving a touchdown, which ends up being a really big play, as you'll see here. This is third down, right? We're bringing a pressure off the edge. They try to play action. Not a good call into what we're bringing there.
Yeah.
But they haven't had a lot of success coming down here, just handing the dive off. I think they were kind of grasping for straws a little bit. You see there, we're really close to turning that ball over.
Yeah.
Get them in the fourth down. We think they're going to kick. They end up calling a timeout. We come out here. We got another pressure that we're bringing just to make it happen fast.
Yeah.
In the timeout, we're saying, hey, guys, you edge rushers, make sure that this quarterback doesn't boot outside of you. Yeah. In these triple option offenses, right, in these two-back offenses, their traditional pass game, they kind of live and die off of this naked boot game here, where we got to stay disciplined. We got to go 1 yard outside the deepest back here. When this guy boots, you're going to be right there to make the play. You see we get a little bit too tight in here, and this guy boots around us. Really great job out of Dominic Young up here, defeating this block by the receiver and getting here and making a good tackle in the open space, in the open field to get them on the ground and keep them off the board.
Yeah, watching it live, when I saw the boot come in fruition, I thought he would be able to get into the end zone. So great play by Dom, keep him out of it. Really probably the receiver's fault. He probably needed to keep running there and make Dom think it was a pass play.
Yeah.
Instead, he
to be honest,
stops.
I'm not so sure that he doesn't have a route to run.
Yeah.
You'll see the tight end slam release.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tight end slam release, and he's leaking out here. Good job out of our safety of recognizing this and matching that. Really easy to get caught up with what's in the backfield, letting this come wide open. But with this guy blocking down the field and him running around, that would be illegal right there.
Yeah.
So not so sure he doesn't have a route to run, but you know what? Hey, we're there to make the play.
Worked out for the good guys.
That's right.
So keeps them off the board, keeps the score at 19-0. Now we start, inside our own 5-yard line.
Come down here, 2nd and 9. We're just trying to get out of the shadow of our own end zone. Make it to about a 3rd and medium. Third medium, ball's about the 7-8 yard line. Run another little quarterback ISO. Really fantastic run here out of Henry Rivers. You see the move that he makes. And then one thing I'd like to highlight here, great job out of Jonathan Mitchell with his blocking. Really selfless play. These are the kind of plays right here. These are the kind of plays right here that don't go in the stat sheets, but win football games.
Absolutely.
Right? And again, on the run here, you see, we'll go get a little better view here of it. What a special dynamic player number 3 is for us. Henry Rivers punches it up in here, right? And now where this is a good run, turns it into a great run. Right here, I mean, all intents and purposes, you would think, hey man, you don't make it out of this. Boom, right? Makes that guy miss, and now we're off to the races. Great job out of him. Again, great job out of Jonathan Mitchell coming in here and giving himself up for the team.
Absolutely. Yep, nice 91 yard run, I think it was, for Henry there. Give us a 25-0 lead.
They come out here, try to run a little 2-minute offense of their own. They take a sack on first down. Defense did a great job of kind of standing up here, and
certainly where you want to be is putting an offense like that in a 2-minute drill, because they're not ready to run that. So Stags leading 25-0 at the half. Really a dominant performance. I guess ended up by all 3 phases of the game.
Yeah, had the one hiccup where we let them get down into our tight red zone, but really good job of making them keep playing football, putting it down, and then coming back and keeping them out of the end zone.
So we'll take a quick timeout and come back with second half highlights of Berkeley hosting Lucy Beckham.
The Blitz is on. Save thousands with Stokes Chevrolet Full Out Blitz. Stokes is blitzing prices during truck season and offering up to $10,500 off new Silverados with APR financing as low as 0%. Score big with EVs. Right now, lease a new Blazer or Equinox EV starting as low as $359 a month and 0 down. Go for the touchdown with 90-day payment deferral on new vehicles. It's the Full Out Blitz happening now, only at Stokes Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, welcome back into the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Walford. We're going to hit the second half highlights of the Stags hosting Lucy Beckham for Youth Night at Moody Field.
Lucy Beckham comes out. They start with the ball on offense. You see they're still trying to run their stuff here. Really not a good situation for them. Being down 25-0, their offense not really built for that situation. Great job out of the defense here, swarming, tackling the dive, and getting them behind the sticks here. Come down here, third and medium, right? Another good tackle here to keep them short on fourth down.
Yep. So Beckham forced a punt. Now we get the ball back and at our 45.
End up punting here, run a speed option. This was something that we liked on film. This backer on film has walked out. Obviously not the greatest here. With him in here, our receiver, really should side adjust this and come in here and help load the box. But that's not what we get here, right? You see that 11 does a really good job of tracking this inside out and making a good play for them. We end up not doing anything either on our first offensive drive. Get the ball back to them. They start. Here we go. Second and 5. It's not what you want. Come out here, try to run a little counter play. Great job out of Landon Jackson. If there's one person you really want to block, it's probably number 5. You see what kind of
showing off one of his wrestling moves.
Yeah. And just to highlight what a great play this is out of him, you see comes down on this guard here. He sees the guard coming this way. He sees this counter action coming back here. He knows the ball's coming back to him. And this is where it just pays to have really great players, right? This is not something that we teach, right? He sees this, spins out of that. That kind of goes against a lot of things that we say to do. But his ability to make this play, spin out, find the ball, and come here and still make this play, and then you see how strong and physical he is.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably your worst nightmare as a back, getting wrapped up like that, and here's number 5 going to suplex you.
Yeah. So now they're behind the sticks again.
Yep, got them backed up, throwing a little perimeter screen. I don't know what they're trying to do here. I think they're really trying to grasp at straws at this point.
I wasn't sure if it wasn't a double pass live, because he almost throws it backwards there.
Yeah, hard to say, but just a great swarm out of the defense to see the ball. I mean, these guys see it and transition fast and go get it.
Yeah. If it was a double pass, he didn't have time to think about it.
Right here, second and real long. This is definitely not a position they want to be in.
Yeah.
You see right there, they try to drop back. I don't know what they're trying. I think they're trying to run like a little draw play. They're doing stuff right now that they haven't done the entire season. And when you catch an offense doing things like that, you know that they're really just trying to search for answers, which is a good feeling as a defense.
That's right. So they have to punt it back to us. Now we've got the ball at our 30. Run a little counter.
Yep, we got a little wingback counter ourselves here to Bryson McGee. Really, really close to being a big play for us. If we get a little bit better block here on this flash across, you know, it's going to be him one-on-one with his safety wrapping up in this hole right here. You see this guy comes back in the picture and kind of does a good job of making this not as clean as it should be. We got to do a better job out on the perimeter of either cutting this guy off. Really, when it's pressed man-to-man, I'd like to see this guy just run off outside and make him cover you. You know, let that corner get back in the play there. But this is real close to being a big play for us.
So able to get a first down and then back to LJ. Just seemed like he had 10, 11-yard runs all night.
You see right here, got the O-line coming down here. Seal there, seal to the backside. All these guys out here are getting blocked. Good kick out. And then we've got our guard wrapping up in the hole. I mean, look at that. I mean, if that doesn't get you excited about running the ball, I don't know what will. Another good, successful play on first down into a second and medium. Come out here, decide to take a shot into this coverage. We're kind of tired of looking at these guys come up here and challenge us close. Take a shot to John Cleveland. They get an offensive pass or a defensive pass interference. Doesn't matter though. Really good play out of John coming back, being physical to the football. Great throw out of Henry. You know, and get this ball down to the 1-yard line.
I feel like I say it every week, but this is his first year playing football, and John seems to just get a little bit better each week.
Yeah, I think he's just getting better and better. You know, I wish he would have listened to me as an 8th grader when I told him to come out and play football, you know, thinking of where he would be now, but we're glad he's with us.
That's all right. Yep. So first and goal here.
You see Lucy Beckham come up here and mug these linebackers. I think the O-line does a great job of having their eyes up, taking care of this pressure. They communicate this out really well, and everybody gets blocked up, right? That's the safety right there. You can't block them all. And just a good job out of Bryson McGee, making that guy miss and getting up in there. See a really good shot here from the end zone copy, right? They've got more in the box than we do here, right? So somebody's going to get unblocked, right? This guy comes up here. You see this linebacker mugging in the gap. We get a hat on a hat. Boom, boom, boom. Let him be the unblocked guy, right? And get it up here in the end zone. right, before they can make a play.
Yep.
Great job out of the offense.
Might be Bryson's first touchdown of the season.
They come off here, really good play for them. They end up fumbling the ball out here, which we recover, end up getting the ball back. So here they run a little speed option. We've got to do a better job here. As a corner, we've got to come up and set the edge when this receiver comes in to crack our overhang right here. And our safety has to run the alley a little bit better here. But we keep playing. You see Copeland and Dominic Young here get back in this play, punch the ball out. We're able to fall on top of it and recover this thing.
Yep.
So really their second most successful play ends up being a good play for us.
I was going to say, just when they get something going, they turn it over. So
come out here.
Behind the
We end up having some penalties, kind of back and forth. They had a penalty, we had a penalty. We end up moving the ball. We get called for. I think actually that's later. We get called for a personal foul. I think they call us for a holding here. But we get behind the sticks. Again, knowing that they've kicked this coverage, right? We see that we saw this from earlier in the game, how they were treating our bunch cluster here to the field. So we come back. Now we're attacking their boundary, right? And we're going to leave all these defenders out here to the field. We've got our drive here, right, out of Malik. I'd like to see this route right here be a little bit deeper, and then we've got this coming here to the boundary. Keller does a really good job. We get the drive out leveraging their defense. Right? Take what they give you right now.
That's right.
Boom, we get the ball up there, circle the defense, and get a first down.
Yep.
So really good understanding out of Keller, what we're trying to do, taking what they give you and getting the ball out of your hands.
And Malik does a good job catching it short of the sticks, but able to turn up the field and pick up the yards.
And, kind of unsung hero too here, 18, Great job out of this block. You can tell that's something that we've emphasized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it going. First down. Jabriel Roddick, really good run here. Good job out of the offensive line.
Yeah.
A little ISO scheme. Yep. Does a great job. We end up getting a personal foul. We're yapping with coaches on the sideline, our left tackle. I don't really care who's talking to you, whether it's their coaches or not. It's our job to conduct ourselves. We can't control anybody else. So you get the personal foul, you're coming out of the game where we've really had a good scoring opportunity. Now we're backed up behind the sticks. We run a little RPO. We're reading the linebacker. They're not flowing outside with our little perimeter screen here. We throw it on the edge. Really good job, pitch and catch, getting it back up in here, give us a chance.
It's Malik again, I think.
Come down here, we kind of blow this pass protection. Our back has a dual read here. He should be picking up this linebacker. This ball's got to got to come out. I think Keller does a good job of getting this guy in the air, but that's not really
his inner number 3 there.
That's not really his forte. But I think we've got a pretty good little man beater concept to the top. If we can just protect this a little bit better, we probably score a touchdown on this route right here.
Yep.
But hey, get down, pull it down, get what you can get.
Just be able to get up and walk off to the next play.
That's right.
So we're going to set up another chip shot field goal for Ryland here. I don't know how many he's made on the year, but it's got to be around 10.
Yeah, he's done a solid job all season long. Stepping up, kicking field goals, he's done a great job for us.
Billy started at Fort Dorchester in the scrimmage in the driving rain when he hit like a 37-yarder that I wasn't sure we were going to be able to snap and hold it, much less kick it through that.
That's right. See the defense coming out here still doing a fantastic job.
You get to this point in the game, they want to keep that 0 on the board.
Oh, for sure. I owe them donuts. I dropped the ball on that today. I got to go buy them tomorrow. Hopefully they have donuts.
Yeah, I saw a stat today. This was our 4th region game of the season, Coach, and you've only given up 27 points in the region. And fortunately, 21 of those came in one game, so 6 points in the other 3 games. Yeah,
really good job out of the defense. And really 21 of those came in a half.
Yeah.
You take that half away, we've played really stellar defense, all throughout region play. And we've done it all season, honestly. We've had 2 tough games where we played really talented offenses that were able to kind of put some points up on the board. But outside of that, we've really been stout. You see LJ out here, continuing to carry the load. Over 130 yards on the ground for him. It's really good job here.
I think he's over 600 yards on the season, if I looked at it correctly. So he's had a great year.
I think we've had 2,300 yards as a team on the ground. It's just something that we've done a really, really good job of all season long. And you see the O-line just anytime you get a hat on a hat at the point of attack, and then you have some talented backs, like it all complements itself.
2,300 yards, probably 6 or 7 different primary ball carriers. Really a lot of credit to the offensive line for that. Bryson McGee was just a good cut.
And this is what really makes him special. Sees this, boom, sticks his foot in the ground, and what could be a dead play turns this into, something really positive.
So what the quarterback was counting there before? Was this an RPO? Was this something he could have checked to something that he was counting all the players on the line of scrimmage like there was something else to go to? I don't know. Turned out it worked just fine, but he knows we're going to run the ball here. He could throw this screen out here if he likes it, but he knows that he's got to hold one of these guys with his feet. So when he hands this ball, you'll see him take off this way to hold this guy right here. He knows that he's the unaccounted guy. I think that's why he's counting to figure out which guy it is that he's got to take. Really, if we get probably a better surge up front here, we've got this kick out coming here to the boundary. If we get a better surge here and not let some of this penetration come through, we probably have a really, really big play, and Bryson probably scores again. You see this guy jump back inside, but this is where Bryson's super talented. Cuts back, still hits it, and we get a positive run out of it. Best play in football.
Yep, come down here, 2nd and 1, best play in football. is victory.
So I'm not going to lie, it makes me a little nervous when we're in shotgun the whole game and then we get under center for that play.
Yeah.
Always a little nervous about that, but
we practice that play every week, so we are prepared for it.
For good reason. So 35-0 win for the Stags, over 400 yards rushing on the ground. Like I said, the quarterbacks went 13 of 15 in the air. Defense pitches a shutout. Who are you going to give your player of the game to?
I'm gonna split it in two, because I think we played a complete game. I'm gonna give the O-line, player of the game.
How about that?
And then on defense, I am going to go Cam McHugh.
Okay.
I think Cam, he had the turnover, had the safety,
Yeah.
just a ton of big plays out of him, and so multiple players of the game, but the O-line I thought did fantastic, and then Cam McHugh on defense was really tough.
Yeah, no problem with that. So 7-2 now, 3-1 in the region. You've got one game left. It's this Thursday. Everybody, listen to that. Thursday night, we're gonna try to bypass Halloween, so play a night early. Senior night against Cane Bay, a game last year that we felt like we had no business losing, and we did, and kind of cost ourselves maybe a better seed in the playoffs. We don't want to let that happen 2 years in a row. We got a lot to play for Thursday night.
Yeah, played a really unclean game last year. We turned the ball over 5 times. Still had a chance to win it at the end with the ball. We actually matriculated it down inside the 10. Had a penalty that backed us up and really kind of took it out of our hands at that point. But as bad as we felt like we played, and as much as we hurt ourselves last year, we had our opportunity to win. So, really the focus this year is to cut out all those things that really hurt you as a team, make the other team beat us. Cane Bay is really talented, very similar type of offense, not the same, but the same type of concepts and principles. And it's going to be a game that comes down to toughness and discipline. Once again, I think that we've stood up and we've done good things all year. If we continue to do those things, I think that we're going to be fine. But if we make mistakes like we did again last year, we'll be in a tough dogfight again.
Yeah, I think it's a benefit to play these teams back to back, given the similar styles of offense. Like you said, not exactly the same, but similar enough that it's good for back to back weeks, I would think, preparing.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that we practiced, week 1 with the defensive line and some of our run fits, obviously end up being very similar.
Yeah.
So to kind of have some momentum going into Cane Bay, playing something exactly not the same, but pretty similar, I think, hopefully could be a benefit to us.
So Thursday night at home, senior night, 27 seniors, Coach, that are going to play their last regular season home game here for you Thursday night.
Yep, gonna miss those guys. These are guys that we've built this, from the ground up, and guys that was in some dark ages, and we took some definite lumps together. Now we're here. We're nearing the end, so hopefully we can finish strong. And all our hard work to get to where we are, hopefully comes to fruition.
Yeah. So come on out to Gerald Moody Field Thursday night, 7:30. The senior night festivities will start a little bit before 7. So get here early and celebrate these seniors that have left it all out on the field for these guys the last few years. Thanks for tuning in to the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Walford. We'll see you next week.
Go Stags.